Oh, it did work. I fixed it. Look at that. Except my screen is black. You guys let me know if that YouTube stream is working. I'm still waiting to get triggered in. Oh my gosh, the quality is horrendous. What the heck is that? That is freaking disgusting. Oh, wait, I can change the color. Oh, okay. Well, if you manually change it, then it's a little better, I guess. Of course, you guys cannot hear me. Give me 1 second. You know, absolutely everything is a pain in my ass this morning. OBS was a huge pain in my ass. This dang stage, man. You guys can never hear my audio unless I leave stage and rejoin, even if I was just in the stage. It's so weird. NQ's super bearish, but I still have a pretty bullish bias. The problem is we're already at demand, you know? I know it's a great trade if I can invalidate this pullback. That's a decent candle. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Dude, is that stream URL? Does that thing even work? It didn't turn blue. Oh, wait. No, that was not the right link. Hang on. All right, one more green candle. I'm triggered into half size. Yeah, the quality is freaking shit though. I mean, if you go to settings and turn it to 4K, it's a little better, but that's something I'll need to fix. I am nearly triggered into my half size SPX calls. It's like everyone in Discord's working too. Good, everything's working. You guys in the live trading right now missed it, all 60 of you, but we finished the morning devotional and psych prep early. Gave myself 20-minute room to set up stream. I had a freaking nightmare with OBS, but it's working now. I connected my YouTube, which was not a good idea. I was supposed to use a stream key. Anyways, really my only bias is bullish. I mean, NQ is a lot weaker. I could enter puts, but I have no good PT. The odds aren't really great. Plus, with the Venezuela news, I don't know, man. I don't know. Usually I'm in a trade by now, but maybe today's a little different. We don't really have much for news today either. But I'll be looking for this next pivot on ES, which is here. It's a very nice pivot. Very nice. Pretty likely to hit. But so far, I've seen no indicate. Oh, wait, this is nice candle. I don't, because yes, I'm technically triggered in. It's not going to be that great of a trade, though. I'll have to enter half size and average up if it looks great, or just average down. But even if I do enter here, I mean, it could still just go sideways and start chopping me up. And these contracts have chopped quite a bit. Luckily, though, the IV has cooled off before I enter, so it does have a chance. Anyways, for you guys that are watching on YouTube, me and my community decided that the first week of each month, the first full week of each month, I will stream my live trading for free because I trade live 3 hours a day every day. And we'll be doing that on YouTube for 1 week a month. NQ still clawing its way down more. I think NQ looks okay to at some point get to this low. I don't know though if this is going to turn into bullish consolidation on ES. NQ's it's going to get harder and harder for NQ to get down, especially now that it's in demand. Yeah, that stream quality is freaking terrible. I need to everyone move to 4K. Um, but I'll mess with the and it's delayed by like a whopping 5 seconds. Hang on, let me see how much it's delayed by. Oh, this stream is very delayed. Oh wait, never mind. It's freaking I wasn't even on the live broadcast. Hang on. Yeah, pretty delayed. It's delayed by like a whole 30 seconds. I freaking hate YouTube streaming. It's so bad. Discord's so much better. I'm nearly triggered in. I just need a majority of this pullback to invalidate him. And NQ looks like it's starting to flip stronger. That's a really nice reversal candle to put in. But I may finally be able to enter. Wait all this time just to get hornswoggled upon entry, I feel like. The stream latency is normal latency. That's a problem. Okay, so this stream's more delayed. That's fine. It's delayed by 30 seconds, but I think it's a whole 30 seconds delayed. Maybe not. Hang on. Yeah, it's like 30 seconds delayed, I guess. Or no, it's like a minute delayed. Jeez. That's my fill. Nope, never mind. Candle needs to close that way. It's gonna be, you know what? It's gonna have to be QQQ. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it's looking like it's gonna have to be Qs. It's still big buying wick though. I mean selling wick. No. All right, if this little selling wick invalidates, I'm in. I don't know which is gonna be a bit better. ES is just not moving much today. The volatility is way down on ES. Very low volatility. I mean, if that selling wick invalidates, I'm technically triggered in. It is invalidating here. Yeah, I did fill half size. I just botched my freaking alert. Just a heads up, I would still look at my alert channel though. This stream is delayed by like a whole 30 seconds, and my alert channel is actually going to be like a 2 second delay. So you can still watch this for the analysis, so on and so forth, but um, the bot, if you're actually trying to take my trades rather than learn the bot channels, what you need to do. I'm gonna average up on this candle. I'll average up on this candle if we hold this momentum. Looks pretty dang good right now. Keep in mind, I trade for 3 hours a day. So first hour is options, and what you guys don't see is 2 hours of my live forward testing of my new futures strategy. I did fill my average up on that candle. I mean, it looks pretty good. That was a solid reversal candle on NQ, and NQ didn't validate majority of the drop, but this supply cluster is going to be an issue. But this is the pivot I'm going for, just the bare minimum one. It could blow right through and get to the next one, but this is a really, really nice pivot. So let's see if the market wants it. Not off to a good start, though. We just perfectly rejected the start of this supply cluster. And I don't really count this massive zone as supply because it's pretty much the whole screen. It doesn't mean anything to me, but these clusters mean a lot to me. ES does look a little bit stronger than NQ. Not much, though. Actually, no, they're about the same. Actually, no, it's actually a little bit weaker. Yeah, ES isn't liking the supply at all. I'm kind of feeling like I'm gonna get stopped out of this trade. Flipped week, just not. I mean, this morning is a very, aside from the opening candle, this morning's been a very low volatility morning, and it looks like we're just kind of range bound in ES. It's a good try, though. I mean, I was up 30% on this trade back when times were good. ES is a lot weaker than NQ now. That is a massive issue. With ES being this much weaker than NQ, this is going to stop me out, and then I'll have to re-enter Q calls. The calls are super choppy this morning as well. Just about at my stop loss, a little bit more down, and I'm out. If it comes back up, I'll re-enter. Otherwise, I'm looking for NQ to get to 25,520. It looks like where we're headed. I'm out the second this wick invalidates. This trade's turned for the worst the second he has touched that supply. I know I'm going to end up re-entering calls though, and it's probably going to be on the Qs. Because NQ looks really good for a new high of day. Well, according to the strength, it does. I did fill my stop loss. I mean, ES can get a drop all the way to demand. That was a really, really bearish rejection. I don't really know if NQ's bearish though. Looks like ES lost all of its strength when it hit that supply, and now it may be NQ's turn to make a run to high of day. A good stop loss so far. Let's see if it actually continues down. I'm willing to make a bet for ES to continue to demand if NQ shows signs that it actually does want to go to 25,520. I don't know if it wants to do that though. Now it's SPX puts or QQQ calls, and it looks like SPX puts have a much higher chance of actually paying. Wouldn't necessarily take them though, because could easily sweep this minor pivot and head back up. Here's the ES making the lower low. Let's see if we bullishly sweep it and head back up, or just keep barreling downwards. I'm not liking this morning at all. This is like really low volatility. Never mind, that looks great. As long as there's no selling wick, I'm in SPX and Q calls. There's selling wick. Next candle opens bullish, I'm in. I did fill the QQQ calls and SPX calls. I'm heavier on the QQQ though because it is stronger. Overall, not a very big position though. Not a big position across both of them. It doesn't, it's just, this morning looks like garbage. Yeah, and that's a terrible response candle. I don't like this morning at all. Maybe it'll change, but this just looks like stop loss central for the way I trade. I count on range breaks and price action actually making it to pivots, and that was a gorgeous candle, and that candle in response pretty much told me that we are going to keep going completely sideways, which is horrendous. We don't want that. Yeah, I'm expecting to stop out of this. Unless this candle magically puts in a buying wick in the last 10 seconds. Wow, ES is actually flipping stronger by a tiny bit. Oh, this morning is a terrible way to start this week. I'm not even really biased for which side. I think, look, it can't even hold a green candle without putting in a selling wick. If it held this candle without a selling wick, I'd be a little bit more bullish for an upside break than a downside break. But honestly, this is just completely 50-50. I don't really have an edge this morning. I don't have an edge at all. In fact, it looks like it's actually going to break to the downside now because of these selling wicks and candle invalidations. I mean, we're 30 minutes into the market open and have failed to get outside of the first 5 minute range for more than 30 seconds. Wow, ES did flip stronger than NQ. So NQ will definitely be stopping out. Honestly, I'm not even bearish for it to get down to 25,520. I can just see this keep going sideways. I think I'm going to need news or something to push this out of this range. See, I'm going to stop these at the same time, even though ES isn't anywhere near stop loss. At least we're on the chart. But I'm not waiting for ES to get there because that'll be way too big of a loss. So once NQ pretty much tells me that it's going to continue through new low of day, I'll take that. And it looks like that's going to be now. That's a really bearish candle open. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get triggered in for puts, unfortunately. It's just, I feel like that's the direction that's going to play out, but the odds aren't any better than any other trade I've taken so far. And the most I've gotten is one candle in my direction this morning. Would say NQ tried sweeping my stop loss, but I feel like it's just going to come back. I don't know. I'm feeling like a pessimist this morning. This is a potential head and shoulders on ES. I just feel like NQ is going to come right back down. This is a freaking disaster. How you guys doing in chat? Type in chat. You guys having fun? Yeah, so much fun. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Every freaking gosh, that was such a bullish candle that just invalidated. I have no hope. Now, if the next candle can be a solid green one, then that'll probably trigger a short squeeze, which will look good. But as it stands right now, that's another really bullish candle that just completely invalidated, which is pretty bearish. But every time we start dropping, never mind. Oh, wait, never mind. We had news. We have minor news right now, nothing really big, but because volatility was so low, makes sense that it's going to react a little bit. But we had ISM manufacturing, which typically does nothing for the market. But it could be enough to trigger that stop loss rate or short squeeze because we're so compacted right now. Another super bullish candle invalidates on ES. You love to see it. Well, hopefully my futures trading makes me money because I know my options trading isn't going to today. I did fill my stop loss right at the start of this candle. It could come back up. I don't really care. There's nothing I can do. This price action's awful. I'll give calls one more attempt if we invalidate the selling wick, and then that's it. So I'll give calls one single more attempt if this selling wick invalidates. And it looks like it perfectly swept my stop loss, and I'm going to be right back into calls. I did fill calls, same as last time. That is a super bullish candle, but if that invalidates, I'm out. Because then I'll be down by, it'll just be 3 normal size trades. So not a small red day, but not a very big one either. Just a pretty medium day. And that's pretty much that's the most I'll do. Looks like I actually got a pretty decent fill though. And I'd love to just keep holding these trades. If this buying wick came 5 seconds earlier, then I would still be in. But unfortunately, it's like, how many times am I going to hold through it, sweeping my stop loss on that trade? I held through it twice of it, NQ getting to my stop loss. See if I get scammed 3 times in a row. And this is my last options trade no matter what. I'm not willing to take another loss on this price action. This Nasdaq price action has been awful. Is today gonna be like Friday? What was Friday? Was Friday the one where I had 2 losses in a row, all the same trade, and then the third one's the one that played out? Let me see. It's 1 loss. 2 loss. Yeah. Same thing as Friday. That's like you're not always going to win the third, so you can't expect it. If you start expecting outcomes, you're not going to be able to stop out. Yes, of course, if I didn't stop out of that last trade or didn't honor my stop loss, I'd be green on the day right now, barely, I think, or I'd be close to it. But that's just reinforcing terrible psychology. And God forbid if it didn't do what it just did, you'd be on your way to blowing a futures account or your options portfolio. And that's not what we do. That's ES new high of day, and we're back in that supply cluster, the supply cluster that initially reversed price action. So major resistance here, but that is a really bullish candle open on NQ. So it looks like NQ's hungry for high of day. Or not. I mean, volatility is so terrible, maybe not. We'll see. No, that's a pretty hard rejection of that supply cluster again on ES. If this red candle invalidates, though, that is extremely bullish, and I'd be very surprised if I didn't get my PT. See if it wants to invalidate on ES. Right now, it looks pretty bearish. Right now, there's no indication of this candle invalidating. Also, the calls are terrible. Like these on the, at least on the call premium chart, there is nothing but selling wicks so far on this trade. It's a really bearish reversal on ES. Well, it's a good thing I'm in both because I was thinking about just filling SPX calls because it did flip stronger, and SPX looks way weaker right now. But ES looks terrible. ES does look bearish. NQ not so much. NQ looks like it wants high of day. It looks like the supply is less significant. But the start of that supply cluster on ES is so many sell orders that's going to be a lot to punch through. But like I said, if ES could somehow magically invalidate that red candle, it should lead to a short squeeze. I'm not really optimistic for it to happen during this trade. It'd be cool if it did. But at some point today, it'll happen. Probably during my futures trading. And hopefully, I'll be triggered into a trade by that time with my futures trading so that I can actually capitalize on that. By the way, that Apex sale is ending tomorrow. So don't miss out on 90% off if you trade futures. Most of you guys do. NQ fully invalidated that red candle, which is bullish, but ES did not even close yet. I need ES to invalidate it. If ES can invalidate it, it'll look very good. Because that's the third short entry invalidated this morning, and typically takes 3 for a short squeeze. It really doesn't want to do it, though. NQ is way stronger than ES is. I mean, Q calls are doing great if you know, if you're unable to hold the price targets, you can take profits on it. SPX calls were doing great too. I mean, I entered at 2.3 on these calls, so I did pretty good, and they got all the way to 3.3, so they were doing good. And then this single red candle dumped them to 1.9. You had 3.3 to 1.9 in a single candle. Tough. So tough. Thinking even if both do get to PT, I'm thinking I'll still be red on the day. We'll see, but if I am, it'll be small, and I'm okay with a small red day today. This morning, this morning was a rough one. Well, ES didn't validate that red candle, so now all those short entries have been invalidated. Ideally, that's going to start causing them to cover their positions, and ideally, that covering will supersede the new short positions that are entered when it gets to the supply. Never mind, it has not invalidated the candle quite yet. I was looking for a close above the red body, and it did not get it. No, yeah, another huge short entry. It was so close to the short squeeze. That is a super bearish candle. ES is indeed avoiding this supply like the freaking plague right now. It's a staircase up and elevator down for ES. This is a bullpen on ES, but more likely to break to the downside. That's what I'm bracing for. Honestly, by the time ES gets back to the supply, NQ is going to be at price target. That's how freaking weak ES is. But this trade's taking way too long. My calls are getting chopped to absolute hell. It looks like I'm just going to finish off red today. But I'll hang out on my phone and wait for stop losses to hit. Or something cool to happen. Well, yes, it's trying to invalidate the freaking red elevators. Maybe it'll trigger a short squeeze. Maybe not. We'll see. Nope. Can't freaking do it, guys. That is another atrocious candle. Can't do it. What a terrible. It's been the worst morning in a while as far as price action is concerned. Not really how red it is, but just price action. Freaking terrible. It's truly an excruciating watch. Makes you want to take out your anger on a small animal, you know? And my stream bit rate keeps dropping, like, terribly for some reason. Look this up. Never mind, I guess trying again. You know, why just do the right thing right away when you can wait 30 minutes to do the right thing so my contracts are worthless and then hit BT? By the way, ChatGPT is my hero. The next YouTube stream should be a lot better. I'll work on it a bit tonight or a bit today. But I'm gonna change up my settings quite a bit because I have a really good machine. I mean, I have the Mac M4 Mini with the max upgrades possible, and then I have I have two of them stacked on top of each other. The 57-inch Odyssey G9 monitors, the curved ones that are huge, and those are 4K quality. So this will be a work in progress, but tomorrow should be much better stream, especially if you watch it back. Yeah, Connor, the thing is, though, you can't say anything good about the market or else it'll stop doing it and reject this supply again, knock on wood. How are the oil stocks doing this morning? My freaking SPX calls have not gone up anything. I'm up like a whopping 10 bucks. Oh my, it's so bad. It's so freaking bad, folks. The QQQ calls, which I'm a heavier in, luckily, because I use the same sizing as the last trade's nice. But still, it's not. Yeah, this morning's definitely going to be a red one. Unless something insane happens like yesterday on Friday and we just get the world's biggest candle, which I do not foresee happening. How can I get into your Discord? Well, I'm not going to tell you because I'm not here to promote my Discord, and I don't want to hear about it from server owners. But if anyone in the chat wants to respond, they can, because I'm not a dictator. Dev, here, I'm sending you. They can't see that message. They're hiding it. Send no. You can just use a site, to be honest. That's prettier. Bryce, I can't put down the cup. Why not? You ready for NQ to reject right before it gets to my PT? Hope you are, because I am. But yeah, tomorrow, ideally, the delay will be much smaller, quality will be much better, all of those things. I still have 2 hours of futures trading to do after this, so I'm actually going to start setting up my trade of 8 and my journal. I don't trade options this long, but this morning's been hell on earth. ES starting to catch up finally, though. Love to see it. And I'm still upset because as you guys know in my place, futures, I was supposed to be up a few $100 in account on Friday, but my trade of 8 was broken, so I didn't get to. So I got to work hard to not desire to make that back up. Let me fill out my journal real quick. That's another rejection on ES. Every rejection is such a strong rejection, like a nice full-bodied candle. And now NQ is definitely weaker than ES. But also, you guys can take profits anytime. We just barely missed that pivot. If you're trading futures and you can sit there and wait forever, options, you can scale out. They've been chopped to hell, and they're probably going to continue to do so. Molasses in the winter is what this uptrend is. Molasses in the freaking winter, which is terrible for 0-day expiration options. We haven't had a morning like this in a while, though. Did we have any like this last week? I mean, Friday was kind of rough because my stop losses got swept, but I mean, it was still volatile. You know, it was still volatile price action. Today freaking sucks. I mean, this is where the market opened after the opening candle here. I mean, how much time do we spend in this general area? We spent most of our time there. All right, but as far as futures trades, I'm not really going to be triggered into any right away. At the moment, NQ's weaker, so if I get a bearish liquidity sweep here, we'll see why. I still have 6 minutes. I still have 6 minutes. I can't hear anything on the Discord. If you cannot hear anything on Discord, leave and rejoin. For a couple people that happens, and then that works, or reset your application. How long you been trading for? Coming up on 6 years. If all your trades reach trades. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I use probability analysis and pretty much just trade of volatility in the mornings. But the second, third hour, I'm testing a new future strategy, which I've been testing for a while. But the odds are pretty good. I just need to execute it flawlessly. And having perfect psych for 3 hours straight is not a very easy thing to do. That is a super bearish rejection candle. You hate to see it. And I'm not thinking that candle is going to get validated because that is a very bearish rejection candle. I mean, we put in this ugly selling wick and then we got a rejection candle. Right after we made a higher high, we put in another rejection candle, but this one much bigger. But again, like I said, for those of you trading options, you can scale out anytime. You could have been scaling out this whole time. This is terrible. But if this red candle validates, it did put in a huge selling wick. In NQ, it actually made a lower low, so it looks really nice. It did make a higher high, so it doesn't look as nice, but this does kind of look like bullish consolidation. This is a freaking rough warning. You know, there is a conspiracy among me and my people about the free curse. Whenever I do live trading for free, it just does terrible. Last time I did was the week before Christmas in December. Options, couple red days, which is not as good as usual. But then futures was literally my future strategy was red every single day. So, but that's why I'm doing a whole week, right? First week of each month, I'll do the live streams, trade with you guys, hang out, all that good stuff. And then we'll see, because if it's just one day, then I'm going to feel pressured to break rules to make today good. But if I'm doing a whole week, we'll see how this week ends up averaging out. That is a very bullish candle. Very bullish candle. That's exactly what I wanted to see. That is incredibly bullish. Incredibly bullish. Could not be more bullish, actually. Actually, yes, could have if its buying what got 3 more ticks down, but that's perfect. Yep. Yep. Saw that coming. Didn't see it. I saw it coming at the beginning of this candle. You can tell, right? And that's a perfect double top, by the way, on ES. So that we need to get 1 tick higher. You can tell by it rejected the top of the supply zone, and I already checked that this is a minor pivot. Right here. Okay, it broke. Well, we end on a good note. I'm not green today, but I'm very small red. And you know what? With today's price action, that's good. And I also have no problem stopping out of the same hypothesis. Oh, this is going to get the next pivot. You know, maybe I will flip green today. This is going. I didn't even sell yet. Now I'm selling. I'll leave a tiny runner position, but freaking tiny runner position. Literally just a QQQ runner. I'm out, though. I can't do any more of this. I still have 2 more minutes till futures trading. It looks like a pretty good sell to me. What do you guys think? But like I was saying, I have no problem stopping out if... I mean, I have no problem stopping out. This is literally the same as Friday. Not as big of a win, though. Not nearly as big of a green day. But I stop out twice on the exact same hypothesis just for it to end up working out. You know, I'm biased for a reason. I have to act according to my bias, and I just hope that the market ends up making me money. And if you do that, that's actually proper psychology. And I was just at the casino last night, so really feeling the probability surging through my gonads. That's a yeah. We all love happy endings, don't we? Especially when they're hard earned. It's an 82% win on SPX. Beautiful. I wish it was a bigger green day, but it is not. It's still a small green day. 82% win on SPX and QQQ. Do this, and it's probably going to keep. Yeah, it's already continuing to go higher, but who cares? I filled QQQ at 65 cents, I believe. 66. 84 cents. I mean, 84% on QQQ. It's a damn good way to end, folks. Anyways, that is a potential bearish liquidity sweep. Did not get the volume spike, but we are in supply. If ES flips a lot weaker than NQ, I will be triggered into my future short trade. Keep in mind, futures trading, guys, is not like options. I truly do not choose my outcomes. I just get in when I get triggered in, no matter what I think. So if I take 4 losses in a row, totally could happen. I have zero control, right? It's a much more mechanical trading strategy based on probability analysis. And if you're in my place, you've seen the extensive documentation behind it. Trade only futures, not options. Okay, yeah. I mean, futures is still. I mean, futures up and downs. You have to deal with the decay, right? It's much easier to hold the PT, all those good things, but then your stop loss gets swept a bit more often because you're trading less discretionary. Also, it's harder to have good psychology because you have to be perfect for X amount of days in order to get your money. Whereas options, you pull out your money anytime you want, do a psych reset. Oh, I didn't change the name to Test. I didn't change the name from Test. That's funny. I made the name of this stream Test at the beginning because I was doing things, but type of chat. How many of you guys made money on that trade or are continuing to make money because we are continuing to go up? So it looks like there's even more to be made, which is nice. We say options or futures trading. Options is harder. So options is easier in the sense that it's easier to make quick money. Futures, you have to become actually a decent trader to make money. But options is far harder career wise. You're gonna have a much less linear career, much less linear education and skill development. You're going to lose all your money so much faster. So it's just not as much value. I still trade options with plenty of people. You know, it's fine. But for new traders or people that are aspiring to break through that threshold of consistency, pretty much everyone's trading funded futures. And that's what I fully recommend. All right. Yeah, next time I won't call the stream test so more people actually join. Okay, now I'm done with Thinkorswim. Will I do good on futures? That hopefully. I mean, I'd love to start the week with a green and green. And I mean, I'm not green by much today on options, but it's could be worse. Really good. That's not a liquid. I mean, it is a liquidity sweep, but not under my standards. Still no futures trading, or still no futures trade for me. I'm not seeing much of a setup either. If NQ can I mean, if we come all the way back down, we invalidate a majority of the move, and then we put in bearish consolidation, that's a trade I can enter. Even if we put in bullish consolidation now, I still can't enter because I'm going against supply and I'm continuing on a pivot. In favor would be trend and then maybe strong. It's 2-2. Folks, it's not looking like I'm going to get much futures trades today, but if you guys have any questions in chat, hang on, how does this work? Start Q&A. Your viewer questions live. Start Q&A. What's this do? Hang on, I'm testing things on the YouTube. Start Q&A. Wait, what did that do? Go to channel and Q&A. Are you guys even able to do anything in the chat? No, I'm gonna end the Q&A. This looks dumb. What do these crown means by? Sorry, I don't do this YouTube live stuff. What do these crowns mean by your guys' names? Oh, is that just how many times you've chatted? So it's like the rank, number one, number two, so on and so forth. I think that's what it is. Yeah, no. Oops, just removed my fantastic supply and demand indicator. Yeah, but anyways, tomorrow I figured out some stuff to make the stream much, much better quality on YouTube. And which means for all you people that are in here with Discord or in here with me on Discord, you guys will be able to watch it back in better quality as well. Thank you for what universe. If you're talking about that last trade, you're welcome. You missed the trade. Andy, how do you miss the trade? We were in that freaking thing for an hour. Actually, we were in there for like 40 minutes. When did I enter? Oh, no, hang on. I got stopped out right before. All right, we were in that trade for half an hour. A little more. You know what's dumb? Discord automatically knows when I'm streaming, like OBS, and it abbreviates all your names to the dot, so I can't even see your guys' names. But anyways, for you people in the community, did you guys see my message and off topic about the gaming section? Do you guys want to do that? Because if so, I'm totally down. Like 100% down. Did Discord release that update where you can run a Minecraft server from a Discord server? Wall Street Minecraft build. Okay, we'll just keep airplanes far away from it. Oh, you froze. Were you trading futures or options, Andy? Because freezing on options is a little more understandable. But okay, futures. Are you journaling your trades, Andy? If you're not, start today. Journal your trades today. Journal your freeze, journal everything. You need to start documenting this stuff. You can't be a very good objective observer to your own stream of thoughts if you don't document them. You need to be a very skilled, objective observer of the stream of your thoughts, motions, feelings, all of that stuff. And if you can get good at really analyzing yourself while you're trading, you're going to get really good at not only being able to diagnose your issues, but being hyper aware of where you're at on the fear versus greed continuum. And you're just going to improve a ton. Still no trades, though. I don't know when I'm going to be able to enter a futures trade. I mean, I need bullish consolidation. Well, that rejection doesn't really count as a liquidity sweep. Really, the only thing I see is I'm bullish for ES to get to this pivot. That's my next PT right here, 69, 61.5. I always label my pivots in yellow. And I always delete my Spider-Man indicator by accident. Here's the pivot. We do have some more above it. So no, you know what? If we get there, we're probably going to get here as well. So I'm actually bullish for this pivot here. 69, 62.5. So really my only hope for a trade right now is we come up to this pivot, bearishly sweep it, put in a volume spike and head back down. Then I'll be triggered into a reversal trade. I don't really want to get into a reversal trade. So it's looking like it's going to be a boring session for a bit. But you never know. Sometimes I can wait around, do nothing for an hour and a half. Then in the last 30 minutes of my futures trading, it pops off with a bunch of trades. Yeah, Andy, if Connor, keep in mind, we have the success managers here, guys. So if you guys have not ranked up far in the path to success, or if you're novice trader and below, like you guys get your own success manager free of charge. And their job is to make sure you get the most value out of your time, your both time and financial investment in this industry. So use them because they'll guide you through the path to success and you will experience so much more success and progress by being held accountable, pushed in the right direction, so on and so forth. Peter from YouTube says that 6 to 7 point S&P pullback was a volume gap close, only 38 contracts traded there, so filling in the volume. Okay. I appreciate the very wise insight. Groundbreaking. Let me look up this Discord server because I am totally down to do it. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6 lately. I mean, the reason why I play video games personally is it keeps me in my office, and that keeps me working. See, when I go out to do things, I'm not responsive on DMs. I don't really do anything that I need to do, and life gets very expensive, right? Like, if I'm not playing video games, I'm spending a bunch of money somewhere. Like, I'll if I don't play any video games, then I'll be spending an extra freaking 10K a month on random stuff. So I don't need that. But it's not like I play a lot. Just kind of in between things. It keeps me glued in my office, and so that's what I've been doing lately. But probably just maybe a couple hours a day. Some days are worse. Some days I play absolutely none. But the most will be a few hours. How much capital is required to start trading with you for what universe authorizer? If you're trading options, no less than 5K, but I'm assuming you're a new trader. Do not start trading options. Take my advice seriously. I've been doing this for 6 years. I've been working with other people for 5 years. My advice is solid ass advice. Do not trade options. Start trading funded futures. Start studying Mark Douglas, Dr. Brett Steenbarger, and maybe Tom Hugard if he's your style. And start trading funded futures with Apex. They're 90% off right now. And you're going to get the most value. Because here's the thing. When you start trading, you will lose every single dollar you put in, no matter what. You think you're different, you're not different, I promise. Everyone swears that they're different and they're going to beat the odds. No one is different. Take it from my massive community of people that have all been through hell to achieve the progress that they have. You're not different. So if you know, because I'm telling you, if you know that no matter what you do, you're going to lose every single dollar you put into your portfolio, well, your job is not to make money. So get that out of your head. Your goal is not to make money. I know the alerts may seem like, the goal is to make money. It's not. Yes, I'm making money, but that's not what I'm doing, right? That's making money is the result. It's not the cause, okay? But if you know you're going to lose every single dollar you put in, and your job is to build a trading career, then that means you're not losing money. You're spending money on an investment, a knowledge investment, a skill development investment. So what you have to think, what can I do to make each of my dollars go as far as possible and make my money last as long as possible so that by the time I actually acquire enough psychological and technical skills to make something of myself as a trader, I'm not out of money. See, the common theme when you start options, I've been down this road, so I speak everything I say is from experience. You start trading options, you throw some money in, you make a little bit of money. Within a month, you blow it. Throw in some more money, trade for a bit, it's going good, blow it. And instead of consistently trading for a year, you maybe trade a whopping 6 weeks out of the entire year and keep refilling your account. And at the end of the year, you're actually a worse trader. You may know a bit more about charts, you may know a bit more about patterns, so on and so forth, but you're a way worse trader because you've reinforced atrocious habits, which are going to be hell to break when you actually decide to start, learning what actually needs to be learned. So pretty much what I do and kind of my passion, aside from trading itself, is only working with people, not necessarily new traders. I got the supercars, I got the penthouse, I got everything that a course seller needs to scam people. My passion isn't necessarily pulling people off the street and getting them into trading. I enjoy working with people who are dedicated to trading. They've gotten a taste of the true upside potential of trading, and they're dedicated to trading no matter what. They're not going to leave, but because of their own psychological inconsistency, their own failure to break through the threshold of consistency, that's where I come in and help you achieve what you want to achieve. Not like in a mentorship, a crazy mentorship or anything like that. Not really like a course either. But that's kind of my target niche. A lot of communities kind of target the teenagers that are just looking to buy their first supercar, or sell a course to through, high pressure sales tactics or whatever, or just get you hooked on analyst alerts. I mean, a lot of servers will just throw a bunch of analysts in your face. You'll get addicted to their alerts because you can't trade on your own. And when you trade with the analysts, you win sometimes, but you're never going to win long term. You're never going to be profitable because you cannot. It doesn't matter if you're following me or anyone else. It is impossible for you to make long-term money following alerts if you're not already profitable yourself. But because it's such an addictive thing, they get you hooked on dependency. Now you're dependent on the server to even try to trade the stock market. Before you know it, 2-3 years go by and you wake up in the gutter one day and you're like, where the hell did all that time go? Like, I feel like I'm a good trader, I know how to trade, but my bank account says I've never made any progress whatsoever. So those are the kind of people that I work with. Should I buy a McLaren or a Lamb? It depends on your driving ability and what you're after. If you're going to buy a Huracan, forget it. I mean, if it's an STO or a Technica, it's fine. But every freaking bullshit teenager that first gets 15K a month, they all buy that shitty Huracan to sell a course with or an algorithm with. I'm not even joking. I know so many in real life. So you'll not catch the only I'll probably buy Technica this year only for the car rental company. But everyone who buys a Urus or a Huracan for their first supercar, yeah, I mean the Urus isn't a supercar. I mean, everyone looks at you like a child. That's the thing. Years ago, it used to be like if you're driving a Lamborghini, that's a big deal. But now, if I see a random LP610 Huracan driving on the road or any Urus, I already know what the person probably looks like. I already know the way they speak, the way they carry themselves, what business they're in. Like, you already know all these things about them, and none of them are respectable. So, I'd stay away from those cars. Ryan, my little brother keeps telling me to get that. And the C8 Z06 for a daily, because I do need to upgrade my daily, is a nice car. Everyone in their freaking mother has a C8 Stingray. I see C8 Stingrays on the road more than freaking C7s, and the C8 Z06s don't look different enough from the Stingrays. So I'm blended in with that crowd, you know? It's one of the reasons why I never buy like a Dodge Demon 170, even though it's an awesome car, is because I'm blended in with the Hellcat crowd. It doesn't look different enough, you know? So for that price, I would rather have a newer R8. Of course, it's not going to perform the same sound, the same so on and so forth. It's going to be just as reliable though, and it's much more like of a gentleman's car. Like it's a very similar thing with Astons, except they depreciate too much. It's like someone daily driving that car. It's a much different person than someone daily driving a C8 or something. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, Tim, I don't do the chauffeur thing. I don't do the chauffeur thing. This is also a very small Head and Shoulders on NQ. Nothing I can be triggered into though. It's not even a nice enough Head and Shoulders. So I still have no futures trade. So even while I'm yapping about cars and whatnot, I'm still watching for me to get triggered into trades. And for those of you that don't know, my future strategy is probability analysis. So I have a bunch of keywords that I use to analyze the stock market or just the charts that I'm looking at. And I enter when I have two more reasons to get in the trade than reasons not to. So for example, if I have a bullish liquidity sweep, I've invalidated a majority of the move and it's strong, and the only thing going against it is supply, then I get in. Because I have 3 good keywords and 1 bad keyword for the trade. That's what triggers me into my futures strategy, just so you guys know. So that's what I'm looking for. But no, I don't do the whole chauffeur. I like actually driving and actually experiencing cars and whatnot. By the way, so there's a ticking that's been happening in my 720. And with this ticking, I mean, it's definitely it's rotational. And in order to fix it, I'll have to bring the motor out of the car. It's going to be like a 20, 30 grand job. I don't have to do it anytime soon. It'll probably be later this year. It's one of those things where it doesn't really matter. It'll just slowly wear over time. But anyways, the motor's going to come out of the car. And I was thinking about going stage 3 on the car. But the problem with going stage, because it's already stage 2. The problem with going pure turbos and stage 3 tune and fuel injectors and all that jazz is the car's not going to make any more power on pump gas, actually make it a little bit different. But on race gas, it'll make, 1,000 the wheel. The problem is race gas at the maximum is sold for like $120 in 5-gallon pails. I need like 4 of those to fill up the car. So I just thought it's absolutely not worth my money. I'd just buy another car for the rental business. However, though, the motor's going to come out of my car later this year, like at the end of this year. Well, while the motor's already out of the car, kind of seems like a good value time to do the rods and pistons and maybe the heads and build the motor out. And if the motor's built out, then I'm doing 1,100 to 1,200 wheel horsepower on pump gas. And the car is actually more reliable because it's a fully built motor. So I got to make a lot of money this year too because I plan on buying land later this year. And I have to buy at least another car. So no, I don't. I don't track my car. It's too expensive. My car's too modded. My car has too much power for the track. Now I do have much bigger tires on my car. But I mean, currently my car does 850 to the wheel. And yeah, I mean, it's not too powerful to where I could track it, but it's just too expensive. Plus, I live in Arizona and it's so hot. I could track it now during the winter, but it's too expensive of a thing to where there's not joy in it, Like, I got this little ticking right now happening. God forbid I track the car and the freaking thing blows up. On my wing that I need to fix. There's already stuff on the car that needs to get fixed. Tracking it is just going to make me more worried about those things. And it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, universe, what do you start with? Is Dev still in here? Dev, do you want to message him? I mean, it depends. I don't know what server you're in right now. Start with Apex Trader Funding. Get a $50,000 Tradeovate account for like 20 bucks. Start trading on that. Learn it. Trade only micros, one single micro, just to start, practice. And then start studying Mark Douglas. If you're already in my place, though, let me know and I'll have a success manager reach out to you and put you on the path to success. Are you able to determine entries for NQ entries? Well, are you talking about my options? Because my options is fairly discretionary. Whenever I want to get in, I get in. This is, by the way, this is almost bullish consolidation on ES. It would be if it happened up here. Instead, we have this big drop, so it's really wonky. I am still leaning bullish. I'm bullish for ES to get to 69, 62.5 and actually sweep this pivot. But still nothing, even if this is bullish consolidation, which it isn't, or not enough for me to classify it as. I still only have trend and maybe strong going against continuation on pivot and supply. So I can't get in. But I can't. I do see the market getting up here. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Yeah, Connor, you can message him too. That's fine. Oh, okay. Trade chart game. I forgot about that. I forgot you're here. You can't send things in chat, can you? Sorry, your gray name. I didn't even recognize you. I can add you as a moderator to chat. Give me 1 second, dude. Community moderation. There you go, buddy. You're there. Looking pretty good, though. I do think it's going to get here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get triggered in, though. But now, because we came up, if we can come back down, sweep this low, then come up, that would look a lot better. Still can't get triggered in, though, because of this dang pivot. Still can't do it. So I would actually need bullish consolidation to happen right here, and then I can take a little trade. Looks like very low, yeah, low volatility today, though. So small wins today. On futures. Okay, on futures, yeah. So it's just probability analysis, right? I look at ES and NQ and I enter whichever one's stronger or weaker. You know, if I'm going short, whichever one's weaker. But I look at both charts and I just do probability analysis, right? Count the reasons why I'm bullish, count the reasons why I'm bearish. If I have two more reasons to be bullish and reasons to be bearish, I'm triggered in, and vice versa. And right now I'm 2 to 2, so I can't. And my keywords are pretty defined. Pretty defined. So, but we're already 30 minutes into this session. I've gotten a whole lot of nothing so far, unfortunately. Drew says, so wait, this gaming category of the server is actually happening. This better not be like those chats with your friends where you all plan a vacation but then never go. I'll start looking into it today. I'm just gonna take a nap. This price action's gross. Okay, that's fine. Do you guys want to see a picture of how freaking crazy my screen is right now? Wait a second. I need to start XP tracking for the bot, but all right, here. Bryce, where's your fun? Okay, so hang on. I'll talk about it in a second. I haven't seen him today, but you saw that freaking video of the cat. So it's funny. Ashton lost her mind. It wasn't yesterday. It was on Saturday. Let me send this in chat real quick. See, you know, on my old setup, I would have never been able to do this YouTube live stream plus trade plus Discord plus Tradeabate plus Thinkorswim plus TradingView. I wouldn't have been able to do all that. Here, take a look at this. But anyway, so we had all the doors open to the apartment. Now, I actually spank my cats if they go on the balcony. So they don't go on the balcony, right? I'm not a soft parent. They go on the balcony, they get their ass beat. So they do not go on the balconies because the first time I toured this place, a cat fell and died like right in front of us. Actually, it was a slow death. It only fell like down 5 stories. Or I think it was only 3 or 4 stories, which is actually the deadliest for a cat because after 6 stories, they naturally like spread out and the air resistance slows them down a bit. But anyways, watch it slowly down the sidewalk. So anyways, they're not allowed on the balconies. But we have all the doors open so that the cool air is actually in here because Arizona's hot. And if I keep the doors closed, only the heat comes in from the sun. So it'll get really hot. It'll get 15, 20 degrees hotter than it is outside. We have all the doors open. I'm in the office. And we freaking hear the falcon screech. And Ashton lost her mind thinking it came in here and smoked one of the cats. But it did not. But it's been around. It seems to come around this time of year. You don't tase your cat, Steph. No, I don't tase them. No, I don't tase them. No. But I feel like that falcon's been. It's actually a peregrine falcon, which is the fastest animal on the planet. So I actually freaking like. I'd love to tame that thing if I could. But I don't have the food for it. You need like mice and stuff. What's sad, Dark King? The falcon trying to eat the cats or what? Oh, I thought you were saying it was sad that I spanked my cats. I'm like, someone's a soft parent. Mostly only when they do things life-threatening, like going on the balcony or freaking swallowing hair ties or something retarded. Then that's when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate. All right, hang on. I'm gonna start looking in. It seems like a lot of you guys are interested in the gaming thing, and we won't create another. But anyways, how we'll do because I don't want to clutter, and we're not gonna mix getting rich with leisure time. So what'll happen is there'll be a role that you can select, and when you select this role, and by the way, this is bullish consolidation on NQ. It is a lot stronger than ES. So right now on NQ, we have trend and we have strong going against continuation on pivot and supply. You could maybe argue bullish consolidation too, even then it's only 3-2. I can argue it on ES though. So it'll be 3-2. So I need one more thing, and unfortunately I don't have it. Unfortunately, I don't even have a liquidity sweep down here. I don't have anything. Like, I genuinely don't have anything else. So today's looking like just a slow day overall. But anyway, so pretty much how it works is you select a role, right? The gaming role or whatever, and then it opens up this new category of channels, like just a few VCs and whatnot, just casual stuff. And then you can easily deselect that role and hide it all forever, and you wouldn't get pinged or anything from it. So that's kind of how that would work. But, you know, I figured honestly, I've been more willing because my friends have been ditching out on me on Battlefield 6, and I'm kind of fed up with it. So that's kind of my motivation. But also I feel like it's just good community, good for improving community tightness and gives people an opportunity to actually know each other. And if you want extra help, if you have extra questions about trading or whatever stuff is on your mind, I mean, casually talking while getting toe missile on battlefield is fine. Ashlyn can help you with that. Hang on. How to give my cats to my parents? She was too sad and bored in my apartment. Okay, gotcha. That's unfortunate. Andy says, I'm trying to mix my algo trading with discretionary. My algo is telling me the whole time it's chopping. Then I saw you enter the wild chop range and was split between. Yeah, so here's the thing. Obviously, if it's chopping, your algo is going to tell you it's chopping. Your algo has no way of telling you when it's going to start chopping and when it's going to end. So that's the unfortunate thing, right? I have no idea when it's going to stop or start chopping. So I have to place, if my bias is strong enough to the upside, I'm okay placing bets on betting that the chop is going to stop, and that's what I did. And of course, looking back on it, you can make some stuff and you're like, well, because this was here, there's a decent expectation that it keeps chopping. That's a good excuse to not enter. That's fine. But you got to keep in mind your algorithms and stuff tell you things that you already should know based on the chart, right? It should just make your life a little easier. So if you're not able to look at the chart and know what your algorithm is going to tell you, you need to focus on improving that. Because I can look at the chart, I can tell you where the 20 SMA would be, the 9 SMA would be. Not the view up on futures because it's weighted over such a long period of time. But I can tell you what the volume profile is going to be. I'm even missing it on this chart. I can tell you what all the indicators are going to be except supply and demand. Let me do this. But I'm not an indicator guy. The only one I use is supply and demand. Everything else is decoration. I'm not even joking. And my indicators button does not work, so I guess I'm not. Oh, wait. Oops. Yeah, everything else on my chart's decoration. Legitimately. I don't use any indicators except supply and demand. There once was a time that I did, though. And I was an indicator nerd. Is that from right now? I mean, the cats aren't in here. They're with Ashlyn, so I wonder if that's right now. That looks pretty good. That's really bullish on NQ. I cannot get in, though. I have trend, strong, bullish consolidation on ES, and I have continuation on pivot and supply. It's 2 to 3, or yeah, it's 3 to 2. So unfortunately, I really cannot enter, which kind of sucks because I genuinely do want to be in. I do want to be in NQ longs right now. But like I told you guys in the description of this, my futures trading is mechanical, so I don't really choose. If our trading options, I'd be in. But futures is a lot more mechanical. So I have a lot more rules to follow. Nothing like group raging to create a strong. Don't even get me started. I'm gonna have to watch my language when I'm playing with you guys, though. That's the only thing I'm not looking forward to. Oh, and if none of you know, Ash is my fiance's Discord account, so that way you guys aren't confused when I'm asking if that's right now or whatnot. Yeah, that's a challenge currently knowing the chop is going. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way to know what's going to happen next trading. It's impossible. There's no analytical system that can tell you what's going to happen next, so every single thing's a gamble. You just choose an analytical system with enough historical reliability that over the large series of events, you'll always end up profitable. All right, let's look into this. Can I actually, is this update out? Can I host a server from my Discord server? Oh, that's dumb. Yeah, no, I don't. Let me see. Looks pretty bullish. Looks pretty bullish. Okay, Discord is rolling out a feature that allows you to host a server directly within their Discord server using Server Boost. But when are they rolling out this feature? That's what I'd like to know. Looks bullish. If I would have it my way, I would have entered on this candle. Still can't, though. Hey, Crayon, I meant to ask, are you in Singapore? Or were you in Thailand? Which part of the world were you in? You were? Okay. I was so confused because I thought Chimkin was your wife. Because in the mentorship meeting, Chimkin's in Singapore. And I'm like, wait, is Crayon your husband? Because you guys are both from Singapore. And I think the odds of you guys both being from the same place and in the server is like incredibly rare. Stonky, there is pivots on ES, just not on NQ. Yeah. No, that's what she already said no, but I think that's pretty cool that you guys are in the exact same place. She leaves it to you. Wise. That's wise. Okay, there's no firm release date on that. Hang on. Okay, wait a minute. Let me look at this. Server boost. Hmm. I can consider this a pivot, and this would be a bearish liquidity sweep. It's still ES bullish consolidation, though, so I would not be able to take a reversal trade. How do I do this? Server boost is available. It's still in beta mode. How can I get the beta mode for stuff? Okay. I guess it's coming soon. So maybe we'll wait on the Minecraft thing. Senator, I'm not Chinese. Yeah. Senator, I'm not Chinese. I'm from Singapore. That's good. What do we got going on here? Which scammer do you have messaging you, Diamond? Because if it's one of the mods, it's a real person. If it's a fake price, then yeah. Let's actually ban the fake prices. But let me see. Diamond, what's your Discord username? Because we're starting to have the staff members DM people that just join. It's not pinging you when you join, though. Here, I'm abandoning invite. Yeah, I'm going to need to switch that. If people are joining through the server, you need to be able to ping them. If anyone knows how I mean, I don't think you guys are going to be able to help, actually. Yeah, I don't know. This server is not like a beta, so it's a problem. By the way, Coding Dude is going to create a bot. He already has one that automatically bans all Bryces with gray profile picture in the server. So hopefully the fake Bryces are going to be a thing of the past. So that's going to happen soon. Okay, we do have some. But anyways, that'll be a big update coming. Big quality of life improvement. How's Tommy doing? Let's check on Tommy. By the way, type in chat. Tommy may be playing a bigger role in this server sometime this year. For those of you on YouTube that don't know Tommy, he's the worst trader in existence. Recently got his first payout after 5 years. Sold his car to buy more evaluation accounts, lost it. Sold his phone, got evicted. Maxed out probably 10 to 15 credit cards to buy accounts. He's quite the character. But we're thinking about dropping some Tommy merch and giving him a cut of the merch to fund his stupidity. Like maybe a Tommy bar of soap that says Tommy's P&L, and it just gets smaller every time you use it. Or maybe like a laminated poster like Dev has of one of Tommy's worst trading days where it's like a million trades. It just says like, don't be like Tommy today, or whatever it is. Maybe there could be some really good utility behind that. Tommy says, took one stop out shorting. Good because I asked Tommy, how was your morning? He says, I took one stop loss shorting, which is good because I usually do not use stop losses. And I'm now sitting in another short after averaging up, waiting for liquidation. No way he just called me Bruce with that spelling. So freaking funny. I freaking love Tommy. He's like your Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but yeah, I freaking love Tommy. He says the market is up too much. I recommend you also short. So funny. So freaking awesome. We're still bullishly consolidating on ES. I cannot enter anything today. This is a very boring day. This day may be a day where I don't get triggered into a single futures trade. Unfortunately. That's funny. I stopped out of a trade, which is impressive because I usually don't use stops, but now I'm in another short after averaging up, and I'm currently waiting for liquidation. Such a freaking legend. For those of you that don't trade futures, he's waiting for his account to blow up. What's with the gif he always uses of the UK policeman screaming in the air? Well, it used to be the Tommy No. It used to be this. That's the OG, but everyone started using that, so he switched it up. But I am thinking of, at some point this year, I mean, Dev talked about it as well, doing like Aurora merch. Not like, here's the thing. I think merch is like the cheesiest thing in the world. I don't understand people who buy merch. I really don't. Like as far as like clothes and stuff. But what I was thinking is Dev already has mouse pads, and I have a huge rectangle mouse pad. But I think it would be nice to have a mouse pad with all of my trading psychology rules for both options and futures on it that I can just quickly go over each morning. And I'm thinking, well, if I like it, other people might like that as well. So that's something I might do this year. Because I feel like that actually has a use to it, like a practical use that you'd actually use every day. And type in chat if you guys would be interested in that. That GIF is permanently associated in my mind with Tommy. Yeah, that's funny. I think Tommy needs some courses. He's bottom diamonds. You don't understand, dude. Diamond, you just joined. I want you. So here's the thing. His name was Two Tone Tommy. Okay. He was kicked from the server so many times for being just the most smooth-brained, window-licking, knuckle-dragging person you've ever seen. Um, but he joined back, and he changed his name from Two Tone Tommy to Two Tone Tony, thinking that no one would notice him. So his actual name is Two Tone Tony, and he only talks in the off-topic chat. So if you go in the off-topic chat, look up in the search bar messages from Two Tone Tony, and I want you to read through his messages over the last couple years. It is genuinely phenomenal entertainment. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. If any of you guys also in this VC want to do it, it's freaking fantastic. Like, it is so freaking funny. There have been times where I was like crying behind my computer screen, freaking reading what Tommy was saying. I think my favorite time ever, my favorite time ever was shortly after he got evicted because he blew all his rent money on trading. He lived with a friend and he sold his phone and he didn't have a computer. According to him, according to him. So he moved in with a friend, and his friend had a computer, and he was like raging at us, telling us about how we're not profitable and how, no one's gonna get a payout until he gets a payout. And then all of a sudden he changes his tone and he's like, my computer time is up. I have to go sweep the floors. And apparently he has to do like labor around the house to get computer time on his friend's computer. And I think that's one of the funniest times gosh, there are so many golden moments with Tommy. Like, I never thought anyone was that helpless when trading. I thought everyone can learn to trade, but until I met Tommy, and really the only person I can truly refer him to is the Lord Jesus Christ, because he is way above my pay grade. He did finally get a payout, though. when two of our success managers helped him, Connor and Ryan, freaking legends. And I did put $1,000 prize bounty for anyone that helped Tommy get a payout, and that was sent to Connor and Ryan. So the bullish consolidation on ES broke to the upside. So now we have three. We had bullish consolidation, we had strong, and we had trend going against supply and continuation on pivot. Well, now it's back down to 2-1 because the bullish consolidation broke to the upside. You know what, Ryan? I keep forgetting to do that. Yeah, I actually do have to lock back in with the Trader of the Week stuff. I keep forgetting to do it. And then the most recent one was Viper, I think. I need to upload it into the website. Yeah, so diamonds, let me know. I mean, you can just join the you can just join the stage chat and type in here, but let me know what you think when you read what Two Tone Tony has said in the past. Brian says that would be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, my mouse pad has candlestick patterns on. Yeah, I'm thinking stuff. Here's the thing, though. A lot of candlestick patterns don't work. So, I mean, I can make some that are usable, but really the ones that stand out for me in my community, because everyone in my community is really advanced with technical analysis, is just psychology left. Because, again, we don't work with new traders, and I do zero advertising. Never run ads, never done any of that until at some point this year. It's psychology stuff. So having psychological rules that you can customize on the pads would be ideal. But I think some just general stuff, some nice laminated posters or something with trading psychology, some really good Mark Douglas and Brett Steenbarger quotes. Just some good stuff. And like I said, I'll get certified later this year by the Mark Douglas Trading Institute Trading Psychology, because I already have a connection to Paula T. Webb, which is his wife. That'll happen at some point this year, and that'll give me the rights to kind of promote all of his stuff and put his stuff on my YouTube. I need TIA work. I'm a new trader. I've only been trading since. Well, Rayleigh, that's fantastic that you found your way here that early. You're trading futures, right, Rayleigh? And then who's your you only do options? I would change that. Who's your success manager right now? Loan? Okay. Um, I would change that, dude. I would do futures. And the truth is, you don't have much to lose because you've only been trading options for a whopping 3 months. But you should do futures. I know you already started the path to success, which is fantastic, but you should do futures. You will, I mean, the path to success is designed to be a linear thing because trading in general is not linear at all, right? There's no straight track to go on. I have people in this server that have been trading for 10 years and only recently started making money because of the psychological education. But futures will make your trading linear. And I assume you're not already rich with tens of thousands of dollars to spend on options trading. So futures is a much better route to go on. In a few months, you'll what? Folks, I'm starting to think I'm not going to get a single futures trade. ES in the entire last hour has not left this little 5-minute range here. In a few months, I'll have a huge investment. Okay, yeah, that's a huge red flag. No, do not let that invest. Can someone else tell him in chat what'll happen if he puts that big investment and starts trading with it, even if a small portion of it? Even if you trade a small portion of that investment, you'll be surprised what a couple bad days can do. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just trust me. Most of it. Okay, that's fine going into stocks, but I'm serious. Just stop trading options. Trade futures. Learn from all of us. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine if you do it with stocks. That's completely fine if you invest that money and to actively manage mutual funds or the S&P 500, that's fine. I would stop trading options though. You will become a much better trader, much faster, and it will cost far less money to do it if you start trading futures, especially being brand new. You might end up having to ask roommates to sweep their floors for time on their computer. That's funny. Really, I can't control you, dude. If you don't want to do futures, that's fine. I'll help you the best I can. But futures is there's a reason why everyone here was trading options, and now everyone here is trading futures, except a few. Right? We still have a decent amount of people that trade options, but those people are already profitable, or for the most part, and they've been trading options for years. Um, or people that did flip profitable trading futures, and now they're expanding into options, and now they're doing options. Right, but there's a reason that you see everyone kind of going the same route here. It's because it's the route that actually works. It works the best. Not saying you can't be profitable if you trade options. It's fine. It's just going to be a lot less linear. That's all. Anyways, okay, for you 44 people in here, type in chat. Do any of you guys play Battlefield 6? Because hypothetically, if I did create this category today, how many people actually play Battlefield 6? You know what's dumb with Battlefield 6 though? You can only be in squads of 4. I don't like that. There should be modes where you can be in 8. I play Warzone. You know, my best time ever on COD was freaking Modern Warfare 2019 during COVID. That was the most fun I've ever had on a video game, and GTA 5 a little bit more before that with friends. Um, I mean, Guru still talks about it, but yeah, Modern Warfare 2019 during COVID, when I delivered pizza for a living. That's the only job I've ever had is deliver pizza, which, hey, great job. If you're a teenager with a reliable car, do it. If you're in a decent, nice suburban area with little apartments, you don't want apartments. Because, dude, I made $20 to $30 an hour on average there. And I only worked from like 5 p.m. to 7 or 5 p.m. to closing. Like, I only worked the evenings. The only time I open and work the mornings is on weekends. So, like, I would trade all day, not eat breakfast until the market closed, then go to work and play video games. It's freaking life. And I was living with my parents, so I didn't have any responsibility. So I was able to lose all my money on the stock market. And that I did multiple times. But Modern Warfare 2019 was the freaking best time ever. As a pizza delivery driver, yeah, 20 to 30 bucks. I mean, think about it, right? Once you get good, okay, so I walk in, I worked at Barrow's Pizza for anyone in the Southwest that knows. You walk in, if you look at the computer, you can actually see how much people tipped online. You're not really allowed to, but I didn't really care, and I was kind of sneaky with it, so I took bigger tips. So a lot of times I do like $50 an hour, 40, whatever it was, but usually 20 to 30 minimum, 20 minimum, but 30 on, I'd say 30 on average, right? 30 bucks an hour on average, which is a decent part-time gig. But I'd walk in, see 3 orders, map them out because we had a computer that mapped them out so they're all in the way. Take 3 whole orders and go drop them off within 30 minutes. That's 3 orders, 30 minutes, $5 each. That's $15 tip. You already get paid $11 an hour. There you go, $30 an hour, just like that. And I mean, it's not safe, but I may or may not have been on my phone on TikTok the entire time while I was working. So yeah. So I mean, I really didn't have to do anything at all. It's like the easiest thing in the world. See, Welch, I wasn't old enough to enjoy Modern Warfare 2. My favorite thing on Modern Warfare 2 was the co-op, the offline 2-player campaign thing that I did with my brothers. But Modern Warfare 2019 was the most fun I've had. Yeah, the co-op was good. Co-op was good. I watched $34,000 go poof in options before. Those are rookie numbers, buddy. You got to pump those numbers up. Can I open a long position now on NQ? Well, no Jux Okay, I don't know what your name says. I'll just call you No Jux. No Jux, I don't think your broker is going to stop you from going long on NQ. I think that's a safe assumption. But anyways, no, I'm bullish. I'm leaning bullish. I don't think longs have terrible odds of playing out. Not nearly good enough odds to trigger me into a trade, even a subjective trade. Um, unless this is the perfect top, then you're looking pretty good. It's not a perfect top, but this is a nice little level here. It's almost a perfect top, not quite, missed it by one tick. High day on NQ, very bullish to break. It would be a glorious thing if ES had a perfect double top as well, but it does not. But I'm bullish for at least NQ new high of day. And the more it dips, the better value that trade's going to be. No, it wouldn't. Verge. Not really. I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but not for my future strategy, no. It's not a keyword. Because, like, obviously, when I look at this 4-hour chart, I'm bullish, right? That's pretty obvious. But it just doesn't. It doesn't. At least for futures, it doesn't. That's not a keyword for me. It's only my mechanical keywords that trigger me in. But anyways, after I pick up my car today, maybe before, I don't know. Maybe I'll be on Battlefield 6 today. Maybe I'll hop on. Hell, I'm about to hop on it right now if I don't get any good price action. I would, but I'm streaming on YouTube and that would break it. Watch me wait 2 hours for my first trade, and then it's going to be a red trade, and that's it for the day. It's going to be unfortunate. That is very bullish indeed on ES. It's stronger than NQ. I cannot enter though. I mean, it's chopping up number one. It's not continuation on a pivot anymore, but it's chopping up, which is number one. Number two is supply. And then I have trend strong. I would love to give this missed pivot on NQ, but it's really not. These aren't pivots here. Not major, at least. But ES looks great for my prediction to play out, and we get to here. So I'll hang out and watch that happen. Tommy responded to me saying, "You're a legend, Tommy," with, "I'm not here for the recognition. I'm just here to take back what the market stole from me." What a freaking character, man. Yeah, so I mean, so these two, they aren't really pivots because pivots is a major reversal of price action historically. Um, these are technically pivots, but very, very minor ones. I mean, this is more of a pivot to me, right? This is a much bigger reversal after that point. This is a very clear pivot here, big reversal after the point, right? These are pretty small, and it just kind of looks like bullish consolidation right now, right? If we have a bull pennant, you wouldn't really consider the little points inside the pennant pivots, right? Technically, yeah, if I drop to the 5-second time frame, then yeah, they're going to look huge. Look at that. Then yeah, they're pivots, right? But how small do you want to go? And they're just not easily defined enough. But ES looks freaking fantastic to enter longs. I'm actually kind of upset because if these were pivots, like if we did drop a little bit more, and this is kind of gray area because I could probably come up with an excuse, but if we did drop more, then I would have 4 reasons to enter and it'd be good. I'd have, for bad reasons, chopping up in supply on ES, and then I'd have strong uptrend, miss pivot, never mind. I would not have, I'd have 3. Strong uptrend, miss pivot, yeah. And this is definitely chopping up on ES, so I can't. It's just a really low volatility today. Today freaking sucks. Very boring day. I'm about to go through my whole futures session, not taking a single trade, which has not happened yet. So, okay, so Ant-Man, now this point right here, this is a pivot. This is definitely a pivot now, right? This high of day pivot's definitely a pivot. But would I really count these as 2 separate pivots? Or is this entire top represented by this one pivot? You know what I mean? So when I try to apply the miss pivot keyword, it would more so be like this. That's definitely miss pivot. I feel like this is just kind of one top represented by just this high, but this is definitely a pivot now. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, I mean, it's discretionary, right? You can choose to count it or not count it, but for me, the keywords have to be obvious. I want to leave out as much gray area as possible. So, but ES looks freaking great. And I'm so bullish for NQ new high of day. This looks great for longs. I mean, I've been saying this whole time, ES looks great to my price target right here. I just wish I was able to enter. And unfortunately, I was not triggered in. If I'm not triggered in via my mechanical strategy, I'm not allowed in because that would be very imperfect psychology. Are you black? You seem like it. I am. How do you know, Juan? Is it my voice that gave it away? The voice. You know, I've been told that quite a lot that I have a very black voice. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Type in chat. He's black from the weight. You may be onto something there. I don't hear it. I don't think anyone. No, Juan, you're alone, dude. And no, I'm very white. I'm a very white person. White person with blue eyes. Yeah. I'm a 6'2" white dude, blue eyes, curly, medium length hair, 200 pounds. That's me. Works in finance. Yep. He says good. Okay. No comment. With a name like Bruce, I figured, yeah. Yeah, also I've never met a black guy named Bryce. That's like a very white name. I'm sure they exist though. Hood is indeed crazy. It is magic, yeah. NQ looks so good to break higher day. ES will get to my pivot, and all of you who took this trade, I'm very jealous, but you guys will leave today happy. Yeah, I was gonna say sound white. No, yes, I'm a very white guy. Yeah. Oh, you have a black roommate named Bryce in college. Okay, that's a gem right there. What are the odds? What are the odds? Now, if NQ was a perfect double top, I think I'd be able to string something together. But still, with the way ES is chopping up, I just cannot be triggered in, unfortunately. But you guys are able to make some money on this upside. Ever since NQ barely missed Hive Day, it's been could not be more obvious where it's heading. College was 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, the average age in my community is probably 30, I'd say. And we have a decent amount of people in their 50s. We don't have many teenagers just because we don't advertise on social media. People that come here find their way here through word of mouth, and those typically tend to be more dedicated, mature people that are actually searching for something rather than just buying into the teenagers with their supercars. But yeah, I'd say the average age is probably 30 here. LeBron's second son is named Bryce. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. People that are in middle age crises. You know what's funny though? Do any of you guys know Necro? He pops in this server every now and again. Pretty sure he's in his 70s. I think he picked up trading in his 70s. I mean, he's always been investing, I think, but he picked up trading in his 70s and now he's making decent money from it, I'm pretty sure. For you OG, you really OGs like DH, JP2, you've been here for a while. A few of you guys have been here for a long while. You guys remember when Diesel went in this server and he was doing his live streams? And what was his name? Some really old black southern dude. It was OG Ghost or something. Do you guys remember him? The really loud guy that was freaking hilarious. Anyways, he started trading at 51 years old. And by the time he was 54, 55, he retired and made more money than he ever did in his entire life trading. And that was one of those moments where, and plus Necro's another one. And what's Advo Coach? Advo Coach is another one. I'll get to his story in a little bit. That's like it's trading is one of those things that you can pick up at any time. If you're willing to invest a few years, it doesn't matter where you're at in life, it can do great things for you. You know, be a big boost to your retirement or just be your full time job from a young age. Advocoach was another guy in his 70s. Um, his he didn't have a ton of money because he was sending his kids to college, and his house got hit by the really bad hurricane in 2021. I think it was 2021. So he had bills for his. By the way, I told you guys it was bullish. Just kidding. We all knew it was bullish. It was obvious. Beautiful work, everyone who caught it. But anyways, his house got hit by the. So his house was leveled by the hurricane. He had bills due for his kids' tuition. Something about his car was wrong. And we freaking took his 5K account and flipped it to over 20. Or he took his. No, we took his $2,000 account and flipped it to freaking 20K in literally 2 weeks. We were more degenerate back then, though. I was a freaking youngster, but that was a pretty cool thing that I'll never do again. Ryan says, "I hope I'm profitable before I'm 90." Well, you have good odds. And there's the second pivot price target that I had for ES. Type in chat, did anyone take longs to that? I really wish I could have been triggered in. This pivot here screwed me. If we didn't have this pivot here on ES, I would have been able to get in. And that would have been a really nice size win. But that pivot screwed my mechanical system. Okay, looks like a decent amount of you guys did. Awesome. Hey, man's up 1,400. When Trade Arena eventually drop, yeah. I think I'm gonna promote Trade Arena by starting Street Beefs in my backyard. It's funny. Speaking of fighting, I am gonna start training MMA again soon. I've been freaking slacking. Been really slacking on the MMA. I haven't done that in months. I've just been so busy. Forgot about Diesel. Yep. Yeah, Tim, we do Muay Thai. I mean, Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu are what MMA pretty much is. It all kind of falls into that category. I do enjoy being able to tie all my friends into a knot. That is fun. I only do nogi jiu-jitsu though. Folks, it's not looking like I'm going to get a trade unless we put in a really bearish liquidity sweep here. Right now, NQ's weaker than ES. If ES gets a bearish liquidity sweep, I will have to enter a reversal trade, and it will be a freaking small one. It'll be like this. There you go. That's what that'll be. You know, that even got volume too. I don't want to include volume. I don't need it though if NQ is a lot weaker. Otherwise, I have to enter on ES because I don't have an other volume keyword. I guess I'll lock in here. Yes, if okay. I have to enter shorts if this candle stays like this. Is it likely to play out? It's not a likely trade at all. Reversal trades are not likely trades at all. But I guess we'll find out, right? I gotta wait till the last 10 seconds to enter. That is the last 10 seconds. And I did fill it. 707. And I did fill my PT as well, or put my PT down. All right, fill the 89. All right. Now at least I got one trade today. And keep in mind, I do add one PA account to my group every single red day. So if this is my only trade and it's red, that's a pretty damn good day because that's a really small red day and I still get to add a PA to my group, which is more money over the long run. So I actually really don't mind this trade at all. I think this trade's perfect if it's my only trade. Unless it's green, then I'd rather have more. We'll be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna step out of my office real quick. I'll be back. It's kind of 50-50 now. I mean, you could be ballsy and go for this. No. This is 1.5. It's not still not very good odds because it's a reversal trade, but it's not horrendous. But all right, I'll be back. I'm back. My big net got some freaking donuts. Caught up from the top. Okay, cool. And there's PT. Well, looks like. I mean, you could go further. I don't. The risk reward's already nuts, and I'm going against an uptrend. I think this is perfectly respectable. But there you go. Well, now you guys, even though this future session has been boring, you guys had my trade hypothesis from the beginning of ES getting to here. It did perfectly get there, and then you're able to catch a reversal. So you guys could have caught two good trades from this session. So I'd call this boring session a win. What do you guys think? Document this real quick. I've been locked in with the Steam Barter stuff, though. I'll tell you guys. It's been doing its job. Now let's see if this gets a check or an X. It gets an X if we keep going down. It looks like it's gonna keep going down. Made another $1,000. Congratulations, man. Probably a good time to walk away then, huh? We have 30 more minutes of trading. I cannot see myself getting into another trade. This isn't a pivot. I was going to say if I did count this as a pivot and we got a bullish liquidity sweep, I can have a bullish liquidity sweep. Liquidity momentum strong going against. Never mind, it still wouldn't work because it's sweep here. I don't see myself getting another futures trade today. Even if we bullishly consolidate, I'll still be going against supply in this bearish sweep. So I think that may be it. So are you going to keep doing... Yeah, first week of every single month, I'm going to do these live streams completely for free. That way you guys can kind of see what I do and get a taste of what we do every single day. My Wi-Fi is starting to act up too, so let me know if you guys hear my voice is being choppy. And, you know, if 15 minutes goes by and I still can't see any potential way I can get triggered into a trade 15 minutes into the future, I will, I'll just call it early. But I'd say today was a good day. I mean, a good comeback day on options, good discipline on futures. I did really want to take this long. And yeah, I would have made money doing it, but still good discipline following my strategy. And, yeah, we did a solid day today, even though price action freaking sucked. Getting hornswoggled today. Oh, you know, my little brother spells hornswoggling with an A as well, even though it's supposed to be an O, and it freaking makes my skin crawl. Your PT is my stop loss. Barely missed my take. Aw, man, sorry to hear that. Why was that your PT, Dev? Was there a pivot there or something? No. Maybe it was a fib? Or were you just kind of feeling it? Was that a risk to award thing? Oh, yeah, your strats 1-1, I forgot. And you only trade NQ for a strategy, right? Or do you trade ES as well? Yeah, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's a fine trade then. Well, hopefully and that's funny, we're still on opposites of each other because for my sake, I hope it goes back up, but for your sake, you're going to want it to keep going down to prove your stop loss effective. Thanks, it's very generous. No, it's all good, Fitzy. Glad you're here, dude. And the reason this is happening, because one of my members asked if I can record my live streams. And I told him no, because a 3-hour recording takes like freaking 20, 30 gigabytes. And because I already do it live every single day, most people are going to watch the recording because they attend live. But if I stream on YouTube, then it automatically records it and saves the recording. So he's going to be able to view that. And on top of it, people are going to be able to tune in on YouTube Live. Now, the problem is, though, if free people tune in on YouTube Live, that'll kind of devalue their membership. So if we just do it 1 week out of every month, it doesn't really devalue memberships much. It gives a bunch of people a taste of what we do, so on and so forth. It just kind of makes sense. So that's what we're doing, and we'll keep doing that through this year. So 4 more days in a row of this, and hopefully this week keeps going okay. I mean, this morning was absolutely atrocious, but I did make it out green, so hopefully tomorrow morning's a bit easier. Yes, it did indeed, JLeo. Negative 800, 200 left at daily loss. I'm unfunded trade buy. Sizing down to 1 micro now. Andy, who's your success manager again? Because I see you haven't started the path to success. Who's your success manager? Okay, yeah, look at his DM because you'll get help, dude. I mean, you got to help us help you, but uh, this server's. I mean, what we have here is everything you need to overcome any challenge that you're facing. It just takes a lot of time, and unfortunately, in this industry, regardless of what community you're in or what you're trading, it's literally just a process of just failing and getting back up. Right? The only failure in trading, just like in Christianity, is not getting back up. And trading is just a hell of a lot of getting back up. Like you're going to be very tired from getting back up, and there's going to be plenty of times where you don't want to get back up, and you're going to want to hang up the cleats. But if you keep getting back up and you stay in contact with your success manager and study the material that we tell you to study, it is literally, I literally guarantee your success. It's just you're gonna have to go through hell to get it. But if you want it, it's gonna happen. I noticed this year we started having a decent amount of coders. I mean, Verge is into coding. Obviously, my developer coding dude. Andy, freaking Rakai's been coding a ton. We have a decent amount of pretty talented developers in this server. So if you guys ever want to network with each other, that'd be probably a good idea. But Andy, the important thing is, if I assume you're newer to trading, the important thing is you're doing the funded accounts, you're trading small size, and your trading expenses are low, right? The problem is they start with buying an expensive course. They already dig themselves a hole, and which is terrible. And then they start trading options. They lose a bunch of money, and the deeper the hole you dig yourself in, the more you're going to want to get out of it. The bigger your desire is to want to get out of it, and the only way to make money trading is you can't care about your outcomes. You have to have no desire to get out of the hole that you're in. That's the only way to make money trading. Problem is, the deeper that hole is, the more impossible it is to not desire to get out of it, right? So that's why it's so important in this server that we preach, like, trading expenses need to be low, right? You can't be paying a bunch of subscriptions for servers. I tell a bunch of people, don't even subscribe to the supply and demand indicator because it doesn't make sense for you. If you're trading on a $500 portfolio, why would you spend $45 a month on the indicator? It doesn't make sense. You need to keep your expenses low, and you need to be trading funded futures. Apex is the cheapest, and if you're spending $100 a month, a couple $100 a month, for most people on average income, that's fine. That's plenty fine. That's not going to destroy you, and you're going to get all the skills you need to eventually get that first payout. And it's going to take many months to get that first payout, but when that first $2,000 payout hits, boom, you just covered 10 months. The last 10 months you've been trading free. Takes 8 months to get your first one, maybe 5 months to get your next one. Boom. Covered your entire last year and a half of trading. You're break even. You're going to have no pressure on you then to make money, and that's when you're going to shine, because pressure making diamonds is the opposite of what happens in trading. You cannot have pressure in your life to make money. And then another 4 months, and then you get another payout, and then the frequency of those payouts increase, and the frequency of the days that you go on tilt and break all your rules decrease. And it is a gradual process. But it only takes a couple to wipe out everything if you do it right. Tim says I code my own algos and indicators and such, but I'm learning everything outside of Mark Douglas's noise, and that's why I love. Yeah, I mean, all our psychology lessons are based on Mark Douglas. Tim, you've watched the Brett Steenbarger course too, right? Because that Brett Steenbarger hour and 20-minute course is freaking fantastic as well. Those are like the two golden gems. I think they're better than all of Tom Hugard's stuff. Tom Hugard's book is good. The averaging up doesn't work for me though. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't fit who I am. It's terrible with options trading. Do not recommend it. Futures it can work. It's just not my style. But Mark Douglas and Steenbarger are freaking awesome. I'm so glad I discovered them back in, what was it, 23? Yeah, it was 23. Oh yeah, it's definitely harder to stop out because of it, but it's technically possible. See, on options, your contracts decay. So when you're averaging up on a trade, your contracts decay. You think you have all this room to your break even, then one red candle hits in your break even. Good luck stopping out. It's not going to happen. On futures, it's at least possible. That's why on options, the only time I add to my position is when I initially entered half size and it was in my hypothesis to either average down or average up if this happens. And then I still have a fairly reasonable stop loss and PT and all those things. That's the only time I ever add on options. If I go half size initially to give myself room to add, not because I'm not confident my hypothesis will play out, but I think there's a decent chance that the market's going to chop or do something I don't want before it gets to my PT. And because I trade 0 days and they decay so much, I have to give myself room to scale into the trade a little bit. Because if I enter right away and it chops sideways for 10 minutes and hits my PT, I'm not going to make any money. Or my stop loss is going to get swept because I'm down 30% and ES is only 10 ticks under where I entered, you know? So yeah, that's how I trade options. That's okay. Diamond says that was my issue when I got in trading, made a ton of money, stupid fast on crypto. Slowing down was the only way I become nice. Glad to hear that, man. Very glad to hear that. Like my goal this year is 50% of all of our active members will be consistently profitable traders, at least quarter over quarter. And we're on that way. I think we're at 20% right now. I mean, that's total. Out of the typically 70 people that keep hanging out on the stage and whatnot, 30% of those people are profitable, at least month over month. 20 to 30% of the people you see are profitable. A lot of our profitable traders aren't as active in chat because they're trading or in voice. But that's kind of where we're at right now, and I think we can totally get to the point where it's 50%, 100%. Or I'm 100% positive that we can get to 50%. It's not looking like I'm going to get another trade. And again, if I included this as a pivot and we swept it and we got volume and no, I wouldn't even be able to enter on ES because I would need the volume. Looks like my trade gets an X though. Could have extended the PT, which means, Dev, your stop loss was beautiful. By the way, and again, like I said like 3 other times, but tomorrow's stream, at some point today, I'll do a little test stream to hone in the quality because the YouTube quality is terrible. I mean, if you put it in 4K, it's watchable, but it's freaking terrible. The colors are bad. All of it's bad. The screen's squished for some reason. So we will. I'll get that quality up to par tomorrow. It's a very complex process, unfortunately. And this is kind of turning into bearish consolidation. I'm not going to really get into a trade, though. I mean, bullish. If this bounces a little higher, I'd have an argument for longs. Because we'd have bullish consolidation, trend, strong, NQ demand going against liquidity sweep, supply. I don't really like it for bullish consolidation, though. If this was a little bit higher, just a few ticks higher right here, then totally I would. I would kind of have to get in, even though I don't really want to. But this isn't close enough to bullish consolidation for me. Missing a demand on NQ. I mean, I could maybe. TradingView. So TradingView has issues. TradingView has latency issues lately. It's only been happening over the last 4 months. So sometimes my indicator's missing zones that people with the same indicator are missing, and it just updates a little slow. What zone is it? Yeah, it's a 30-minute here. We're trying to roll out an update to work around it, but as it stands right now, your guys' version, if you pay for the indicator, your guys' version of the indicator is a tiny bit better. But it also depends on Wi-Fi connection. It depends on a lot of things, unfortunately. And never mind, that 45-minute demand shouldn't even be there. I need to unadd and re-add the indicator. And TradingView's support team is freaking atrocious, like terribly atrocious with their stuff. See, now I'm on the version you guys are on. See how it works fine? Except these zones are way too bright. I like switching at 10% opacity. So this update to get around the TradingView issues is a work in progress. Copy this indicator and move it to. Copy. Let me see. Turn this off. Okay, so see, when I unadded and re-added the indicator, it's fixed. But you shouldn't need to do that, and that used to not be a thing. It's really annoying. Appreciate you pointing that out, Brian. Shout out to you guys for dumping 15 seconds after I stop loss. Yeah. So now it's in demand, but yeah, I'm not going to have another trade for sure. No other trades for me. So we're at the 15-minute mark till I'm done. There are absolutely no trades on the horizon. It is impossible. There's not even a pivot near that I can potentially get a reversal out of. This is just too minor of a pivot to count. So type in chat if you guys have any questions, comments. How do you think today went? And if If nothing, then I'm going to head out and I'm going to finally eat breakfast because it is past 10 o'clock now. Kind of bull. The Diamonds, their freaking support I hate TradingView with a passion. They are the most lazy, money hungry people ever. You cannot get anything done, no matter how legitimate your claim is. Whether it's pine coders, whether it's the TradingView, the TradingView admins that sell their software, their charting software, because of another company that's it's paused in development, but it'll be back in development soon. I mean, we're offering them thousands a month for their software, and they just won't give it to us because they just don't really feel like it, or they will, but for like $50,000, or no, sorry, $80,000 a year. So it's like they're the most ridiculous people to work with. I have nothing but bad experiences with them, and it's unfortunate that their platform is so good to where it's all they got to deal with. But we've had support tickets open for 2 weeks, and they'll just stop responding for literally an entire week and then just close out the ticket. We open another one, same thing happens. Don't respond for days, then close out the ticket. They're just really annoying people. That's a good question, Jaylu. Why do I have moving averages on the chart? Literally just for decoration. I don't use them. They've just always been on my chart, and it's how it just feels like my chart, you know. They've just always. And Jay Leo, you can join in the Discord, by the way. You should have access. I know the quality on YouTube's terrible with the coloring and whatnot. I'll try to fix that tomorrow. But anyways, it just doesn't. The moving averages don't feel like my chart. I mean, it makes it feel like my chart. It's always been that way. It's decoration. It's prettier to look at. You know, if I'm going to look at my chart for 3 hours a day, I like it looking pretty. That's genuinely probably the only reason. There was a time when I really used the indicators, and my 20 SMA is one of the best, like my favorite moving average of all time. And this 90 and 180 VWMA band is fantastic too, but I don't know, maybe I'll take them off someday, but for now it's kind of like how people recognize my charts. And it's how I recognize my own charts as well. So I don't know, I just never really had a reason to take it off, and I like the colors. That's really it. Yeah, they are there for emotional support. That's pretty much it. And he says, yeah, my experience has been a bit complicated. Technically, I started in 2022 with buying algorithms. Oof. Then I realized that buying algos from others is crap and don't work. So I started learning to code on my own in 2024. Found your channel mid 2024 going absolutely bonkers trying to find your Discord channel. Yeah, to find it, you have to do a little bit of work because I don't really run ads or advertise it or anything. Find your Discord channel along with other chat members and YouTube live streams. My whole philosophy changed after watching those Mark Douglas videos around risk management and been coding ever since until I decided to slowly add discretionary trading about 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Your 2026 will be a big year of progress. I mean, you ask anyone that's been active in this community for the entirety of last year and ask them how much they progressed as a trader over the last year, and you'll be surprised. It's ever since the path to success was made, and because last year was the year that I started. I mean, after my futures trading strategy stopped working last winter, it's when I actually started mechanical strategy development, backtesting, and all those things, and actually teaching it because I needed to for the first time. Last year was a really big change to the curriculum of this community and how it's presented and the route that we push traders through. But I mean, it's been very refined into a very specific route that we push our traders through, and that if done correctly, yeah, it's still going to be hard, but it's not going to be financially hard. Number one, that's guaranteed. It's going to be very emotionally hard and time-wise, but it's not going to be financially hard. And it's very linear. You know what you're studying, you know why you're studying it, you know what to work on, and over the course of 5 months, you know how to be a perfectly profitable trader. Now your goal is either you have a good strategy and you're just practicing reinforcing good psychology and breaking out of your bad habits, or you're working on building that strategy. Your psychology is already good, but you're working on building that strategy to use to generate your income. So it's one of the two. How do you find the YouTube channel? Word of mouth. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you ask Dev, he might show you. But again, I don't really promote my server because I don't want other server owners complaining to me that I'm stealing their members, because I've never had to deal with that and I don't plan on dealing with it. But either Dev or TCG can message you. All right, I'll wrap it up in a couple minutes. I'll let you guys say whatever you're going to say. It looks like that extended PT would have worked. If you went all the way down to here, it would have worked just fine. That's a big win too. 211 ticks, 53 points on NQ. That's a dang good reversal. Got perfectly to my PT this entire future session, then reversed right after. Glad I was able to make money on at least one of my hypotheses. Looks like everyone's done typing. Peter, did you save that? The bottom one? I'm going to assume that's a yes. Andy's still typing. Andy, are you typing something long? Am I safe to close the session, or should I wait a little bit? Yeah, you're good. All right, sweet. Well, it's green day. Small green day across the board. Small green day on futures. Small green day on options. But good discipline. Pretty decent TA. Just crappy price action in the beginning. And yeah, I'd say today's first day of the first week of the new year, plus the first day of YouTube live streaming went well. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for attending. And I won't be doing it on YouTube, but we'll be doing my trade review in 3 hours from now. So we'll review today's trades and everything like that. And also have a mentorship meeting to get to. But all right, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a blessed rest of your day, and good luck if you guys continue trading. Like I said, tomorrow the stream should be much better quality. I'll work on it today. Wait, Jay Lou asked, may I ask if you have a sweep of prior days? No, I don't have that on me. But if you just quickly look, most major tops and bottoms do have a wick. So a wick doesn't necessarily, have a high win rate of creating a huge reversal, but most reversals have a major wick. So if you have a feeling that a bottom or top is in, the odds are a little bit better if it has a major wick. Yeah. All right, sweet. I will see you guys later.